During World War II, the life of a U.S. soldier often depended not just on his weapon, but on what was carried by the medic crouched beside him. In the chaos of war, medics had to stabilize the wounded fast, with only what they could carry on their backs. In this video, we'll dive into the most vital pieces of medical gear that U.S. Army medics relied on, gear that helped save tens of thousands of lives on battlefields from Normandy to Okinawa. Perhaps the most iconic and immediately useful item in a medic's kit was a Carlisle Bandage, named after the Carlisle barracks in Pennsylvania. Each bandage was vacuum packed in a metal tin and coated in wax paper to keep it sterile. These bandages were issued to every U.S. soldier and were typically stored in a first aid pouch on the belt. They were designed to be applied by the wounded soldier themselves or a nearby comrade in the immediate aftermath of an injury. The Carlisle Bandage included a large, sterile dressing and gauze pad that could be used to staunch bleeding or cover wounds. Though simple, it was crucial. Soldiers were trained to apply the dressing immediately after being wounded, often while still under fire. Medics carried extras in their bags and used them liberally in combat zones. The speed at which this bandage could be applied and its reliability in keeping wounds clean made it a staple of battlefield medicine. Next to the Carlisle Bandage, the most famous medical innovation carried by medics was sulfa powder, one of the earliest mass-used antibiotics. Officially known as sulfanilamide, this white powder was included in every soldier's individual first aid kit and was also carried in bulk by medics. The powder was sprinkled directly into open wounds to prevent bacterial infection, a major cause of death in World War I that World War II medical science was determined to fight. Sulfa drugs didn't eliminate the risk of infection, but they significantly reduced it. Introduced to U.S. forces in the late 1930s, sulfa drugs became the gold standard of battlefield antiseptics until penicillin became more widely available. Even after newer antibiotics arrived, sulfa powder remained in use due to its portability, effectiveness, and low cost. Some medics even referred to it as white gold for the number of lives it saved. Few items illustrate the blend of desperation and innovation better than the Morphine syrette, designed by E.R. Squibb and Sons. The syrette looked like a small toothpaste tube with a built-in needle and was filled with a single dose of morphine. When a soldier was seriously wounded and in agonizing pain, a medic, or even a fellow soldier, could administer the morphine directly into muscle tissue. After injection, the used syrette was pinned to the collar of the wounded soldier's uniform with a small wire loop. This told subsequent medics how many doses had been given, vital information, as too much morphine could slow breathing or lead to death. The morphine syrette became an iconic piece of World War II field medicine and was even adapted later into chemical injection auto-injectors for nerve agent defense. One of the greatest logistical achievements in World War II medicine was the widespread use of blood plasma. Plasma is a yellowish liquid component of blood that carries cells and nutrients. It doesn't need to be matched for blood type and can be stored much longer than whole blood. The U.S. military developed portable kits to collect, dry, ship, and reconstitute plasma for battlefield transfusions. These blood plasma kits were a lifesaver in both the European and Pacific theaters. Medics and aid station personnel used them to treat shock, blood loss, and severe burns. According to medical records, tens of thousands of units of plasma were administered to wounded soldiers in the weeks following D-Day alone. It became so vital that plasma kits were prioritized in airborne drops and medical supply convoys. Medics in World War II also carried Ampools, sealed glass containers of liquid drugs like atropine, caffeine, or sedatives, which were administered using hypodermic needles. The ampoules were stored in padded kits to protect them from breaking in combat, and medics had to break the tip of the ampoule to draw the contents into a syringe. Ampoules allowed for precise dosages and fast action, essential for reviving wounded soldiers or calming them in the heat of battle. One of the most commonly used drugs administered this way was atropine, used to treat shock and chemical exposure. Medics also had ampoules of adrenaline to restart a failing heart or give soldiers a short burst of energy during evacuation. These injectable drugs were delicate and required training to administer safely, highlighting the skill and courage of the medics who used them under fire. But before we end this video, a short section from an original film.
The general hospitals are telling some remarkable stories these days, like 16,000 casualties handled by one group and only 15 deaths. What is making such records possible, of course, is the fine condition in which patients are arriving, due to the splendid work of units all along the line. In the first 2 months of the invasion, some 76,000 wounded were handled by the medical department. In World War I, 8% of these men would not have survived. Today, less than 3% are being lost. And many who would have been invalided for life will be totally healed. So the careful planning of months bears fruit, and men who knew the battlefield but a few short hours back, knew the pain, the suffering, now know the care, the comfort, and the hope that the best in modern medicine can bring.
Thank you for watching. If you want more content, click on the left or the right video. Also, I'm ever thankful for everyone helping me reach 500 subs on this platform and helping me spread my message of medical history during World War II. Have a great day.